Welcome back to a little update video. We are talking today about AMC, Beyond, Bad Buff and Beyond, and two community wishes. If you're interested, just stay tuned. As always, I'm using the Fractal theory. Explanation video, tutorial, I will link at the end of the video. Okay, well, then let's jump in to AMC. So today only a small update video. If you're interested in brackets, watch the video from the last video from 2 days ago for the whole story, 2-part squeeze, 1-part squeeze, and the blah blah blah. I will link the big update video at the end of the video. Today, we just look what we have done yesterday. So let's zoom in. So there wasn't a squeeze yesterday. Monday is over. I mean, I'm not really surprised because for the main tracking, it made no sense. We still have two versions. Yeah. First version, the Hopium version, is just the 200 AMA right now is at 208 or something like that. If we, of whatever reason, today, tomorrow, this week, are breaking over the 200 AMA, it should be squeeze time. Yeah? As I said in the last video, it will become very interesting if we break over the 200 AMA, but there is no gap. Yeah? So 99% of all trackers then have no clue what they should do. In our case, we just use our method. I mean, I'm not thinking that will happen, but there's always a possibility. But for the main tracking, what if we are not doing that? Yeah? I said in the last video already, if we're not seeing a gap yesterday, Monday, that's a very good chance that this is our A and the peak and the rejection of this trend line. So what would happen now? For the main tracking, we are now finally getting our pullback, our last pullback in between. And this pullback will pull back to the 0.5 or to the 618 fib. From where? From our V to our top. In that case, our targets are 134, 135-ish for the first bounce, or for the first chance to bounce, and the next one, 123. Again, we don't have to bounce on the line. Just saying, yeah. You can also bounce a little bit over it, at it, a little bit under it. Just saying, yeah. This is not, we have to bounce exactly at 135. What we are not allowed to do is touching the 786. So touching $1.09 would be bad. Yeah, especially I don't really have this alternative. So if we touch this, something is wrong. For timing, well, I said that already now since weeks, I think. My target is still mid-May, end of May. Yeah. So, of course, we could do something like GNS, for example. Knife down. Yeah, perfect. Or we just do this very slow. I mean, we are now on April 21st, so we have 2 weeks left to come into May, 4 weeks left to go into mid-May. So if we really have to wait till May, you have to do something. Yeah, you have to do something in this time. So it is also possible, as I said, you're doing this slow. In that case, this little peak yesterday, this year, could already have been your lower high, for example. Yeah, so you would come down, up, M, down, up, T. With low volume, you can do that for a while. Yeah. One last thing, when we bounce here, there is a chance like in 2021, like in 2024, like in 2025, you're adding a little higher low. Yeah. And then you go. Just saying. For the question, should you buy now or not? Again, I can't, or should you even buy puts? I can't give you a financial advice. I just can't. It doesn't matter how often you ask me, and it's not that I'm uncertain and I don't want to be wrong or whatever. I don't care. Yeah, I only presenting my tracking, and if another predictor is more right than me, I don't care. Yeah, I think I never will sit here and say, I'm right. No, yeah, I just can't. I can't give you a financial advice. But I said that since here. So since early April, I bought 50% of my position here. I didn't bought the other 50% because I want to wait for this pullback. But it's dangerous to not have a position. Yeah, we have normally since IPO the thing that AMC and Jimmy always start their squeezes, their gap ups Monday, Friday. Yeah, and I also absolutely expect this time. Yeah, but still, it's fucking dangerous that you could do this move again in after hours. Yeah, not expecting that we go intra-week or before May, but still, it's dangerous. It's your decision. For puts, I only can say one thing. Since AMC is under the $5 mark, and I tried it, I tell you, puts for AMC aren't worth it. I just say it, they aren't worth it. You can track it perfectly. You don't get the money out you want. It's just not worth it. Yeah. And then the risk to just get blown up is, yeah. One last thing. Maybe you saw it, maybe not. Last overnight, yeah, from Monday to today, Tuesday, on Robinhood and Momo and one other one broker showed a candle to 235 on AMC, an instant pullback. Yeah. Because I could bet I get the question, does that mean something? I said that again. For me, only pre-market, main hours, and after hours are counting. Overnight is for me not counting at all. First of all, because you don't see it on the chart. Second, because we saw that in the last 4 or 5 years, several times that you even have 100% in overnight, and then the next day nothing happened. And not even nothing happened, so we never saw the move, but it wasn't even anything which was related to the tracking. It didn't mean anything. And that's the thing, if we say that this candle would have been there and you would have gone up here and instantly rejected, just saying that would be fucking bad. That would be a rejection of the 200 AMA, and this would be just okay. We knifed to new all-time lows. For AMC, okay, possible. Yeah. Only problem I would have with it, first of all, it's not time. Second of all, Team E is not ready for a knife. It just isn't. And also AMC isn't. Yeah. I showed you the alternative where you can reject price target 1. There where you can reject $12. And I mean, you can reject this trend line. Yeah. And then doing all-time lows. But I could be wrong. For me personally, it makes no sense to reject here. It just makes so for all-time lows. Yeah. After we got this move, there's a possibility. Right now, So for me, overnight is just bullshit. Yeah. So in short, main tracking, we're getting now the pullback. YOLO tracking, break over the 200 EMA and go. I personally lean to the pullback because it just makes sense. Okay. Next one is BYND. So for today, also just a small update. For the big update, I will link the big update video at the end of the video. Just in short, especially after the price action of yesterday, our next target, our next macro target, our ending target is just A. Yeah, and A is over 15. And my timing still stands. If we're not doing something stupid, we should get this target over 15 latest July and August. But now for the main tracking, for the tiny tracking. So BYND, we had 3 versions in the last video. Now we only have 2. And we not only have only 2, we killed the bearish alternative with this move yesterday. Because I said, if we break over $1.05, the bearish alternative is dead. And my God, was that a breakout. Yeah? And for this case, yeah, it was clearly that we had here our V, here our A, and this pullback here was just little b. Perfect. Also, I said confirmation for the bearish move to the downside was if you touch or break 76 cents. And we, of course, we bounced at 77. So, but still perfect. Bearish alternative is that. So, what are our possibilities now? I start with the main tracking. Yeah? Main tracking would be the slow one. Just saying the slow one to get into May, June, July. In that case, we have made our little a here, then our little b with the pullback, and right now we are doing little c, which is automatically becoming our middle a. If we're doing that slowly, a has to be over t, which we did, but has to be under m, under midpoint. That means this version is only working as long as we're not breaking 160 cents. If we're not breaking 160 cents, we will peak somewhere in here. Yeah, could be already this. Yeah. And then you're doing a breakout retest or a 0.5 or 618. So in that case, you would just make a breakout retest. Yeah. After that, you will go to your middle B. Your middle B has to be over M, so has to be over 160, 0.5 pullback, and then we go. And because I already got the question, okay, so after B, after this B, we just run to C, to our big A, to $15 or higher. Yeah, I know, it's a fucking big jump. But that's because we have this M and this T. And especially because we had this extremely vertical higher low. After 160, there is just nothing. That's the reason for it. There is nothing. That's not even hyping. If you break 160, yeah, after the pullback, your next target is just T, yeah, and I'm talking about macro T, yeah, and that's 1529. So that would be the small, and not small, slow tracking. Because I also already got the question, what do we have to break to do something stupid? Yeah, that's pretty easy. If you break over 160 today, tomorrow, before we're doing this pullback, then we're doing something stupid, because then we're jumping A. We're jumping little a. And if we're jumping middle A, we most likely also jump middle B. Yeah. So if you not pull back here to this trend line and you break 160, you can do something stupid. And there are two ways of stupid. First one is you're not doing this little crap down here and just go to our big A target. That would be the, let's see, how should I call that? The tiny, the small, stupid, insane move. Then is only the question, if we jump these A and B, and we have the same thing here. So if you break 160, you're jumping A and B. So you're jumping T and M. Here you have the same thing, just bigger. Big A has to be over T, but under M. If you're just running up here, breaking 15, not stopping and breaking 43, you're also jumping T. That means the really stupid one. That's the big one. Yeah? Because the only thing what then is your stop level is, are you breaking all-time highs or not? Yeah, which even I can't tell you. Yeah, so if we break these levels, it's the same if we're doing it slowly. If we're doing the big A pullback, the big B pullback, I can't tell you if we're breaking all-time highs or if we stop somewhere here. Yeah? But yeah, that's the absolutely stupid move if you're also jumping the 44 M landmark. So it's fucking bullish. It's nice. Finally, yeah. The only two ways, very quick, or still a few weeks, but I think the danger of it's gone, it's delisted. Even I think the danger of a reverse split now is off the table. So nice. Okay, next one is Bed Bath & Beyond. Only because I think the last update for this is a while ago, and the bullish tracking seems to breaking out right now. For Bed Bath & Beyond, there's still one bearish, one bullish version. We start with the bearish one. For the bearish one, you see you have your normal V, A, B, C, C, L, M, T. For the bearish version, this is not our higher low. This would be T. In that case, you will knife down. Levels for this would be, in that case, you would do now T. Yeah. So if you fall back here and if you touch 427 again, that would be for me a confirmation that we are going down. Doesn't look like it right now, but just as a warning. For the bullish tracking, Bed Bath & Beyond finished its higher low 2 weeks ago. For the bullish tracking, if we zoom in to the higher low, it was a perfect 786. It was a V and A. It was a breakout. Same like Beyond. We could do now an A, B, C. Yeah, same thing. But your overall target would be for big A, something over 15. And for big B, something over 40. And then all-time high break or not. Same thing for Beyond. We are tracking 2020 and 2021. And in 2020 and 2021, if you look here, there were no fib pullbacks. Yeah, you had tiny pullbacks here and here, but there are no fib levels. Yeah, so in that case, there is a possibility you just don't do A and B. You just go up. I would still expect, if Bed Bath & Beyond is moving with all other memes, I mean, now it does, but the all-time high target we could start strong moves from May on, like so many other tickers, to reach all-time highs this year. Just no financial advice. My maximum target for this year would be 40-ish. Yeah. But I mean, from $6 to 40 is not that bad. So yeah. Just a little warning, because they had a merger, that the option chain is a new one, and it's right now quite terrible. Yeah, not the max strike is, I think, $15, and it's because of that move not that cheap. So it looks good. I wouldn't buy weeklies. No financial advice. I would go for September's at least, or just shares could also work. But right now, this looks good. Okay. And at the end, we're doing 2 community wishes. First one is AGL. Yeah. For this, I have a clear bullish, a clear bearish version. We start with the bullish one. It's quite simple. I mean, I say it again, it's a very young company. I hate young companies. So everything under three years is just saying, it's not because maybe the company is bad or whatever. It's just you don't have enough price action to really be sure if it's the right place in the fractal, because you don't have much price action. Yeah? This whole thing, for example, could just be high or low. That's the reason for it. You're starting your IPO in C, lower high, midpoint, T for the bullish version. For the bullish version here in April 2026 was your all-time low, your V, and you did a reverse split. I will come to that in a second, and broke out. In that case, you broke already your T, and you're doing A now. So this could be already your A peak, but it doesn't have to be. Yeah, your A could also be in this range. Just saying, that's the shitty part here. As long as you're staying under 150, which is your M, everything in here could be your A. If this was the peak for A, you have to do a 0.5, 0.618 pullback now, or just a breakout retest. Right now, it would be 618, because this would be a perfect breakout retest of the TM line. And then your next target would be B. Yeah? So you would come up. B has to be over M, over 150, 0.5 pullback, and then the only question is, are you breaking all-time highs or not? For levels, it's kind of shitty here, yeah, for confirmation levels, because I could say now everything over 150 is bullish. That isn't helping at all at 27. I could now say everything under 740 is fucking bearish. That is also not helping. Yeah, this thing is right now so 50-50 in a decision point. It's quite shit. What I can say, if you bounce on this trend line, so let's say I don't also know if this is quick or not, but if we now falling down here, but bouncing here, doing a little micro high or low after that and holding then, that would be bullish. Till then, it's kind of shitty. That would be the bullish version. The bearish one is simply this. Yeah? That means you did your C, your L, your M, and right now you're doing your T. And from the looks, I would more tending to this. Yeah, just saying, because you have a quite big L, a quite big M. To say that only this little shitty thing here is T. Yeah, if you watch me, you know I hate it if you have big landmarks before, but just a small T. Yeah? Not impossible. Also, T can also be here. Yeah. I mean, that would still be bullish because you could still play it, but as I showed before, it doesn't has to be. Yeah. This could be already our T. If you watch the Fractal Tracker tutorial video, that's our MT line. So this could be already our T. In that case, you will not. And to say that this just is no rule, but for my personal experience over the last 8 years, a run direct after a reverse split, most of the time that's not a bullish sign. But for this, if this would be T, you of course go under your all-time low. Then wherever your V is, then you start your higher low again, and then we can work up again. Yeah. But that would mean for the middle and far future, it's first of all, it's downside. Yeah. Also for here, I have no confirmation targets which are helping you, because of course, everything over the green trend line is bullish. So everything over the green trend line for me would kill the bearish thesis. And of course, everything under 752 is confirmation for downside, but that's too late then. Yeah. That's why not enough price action for this to be 100% sure. Okay, and last one is Alphatech. Was also a wish from one of you guys. It was said it's looking like BYND. I mean, maybe. Not really agreeing to it. I would even say it looks more like HKD. Just saying. Really, for me, this is more comparable to a HKD than BYND. And it's way younger again. Yeah, the next problem. This is only 2 years old. And it's a really penny stock. Also here, we have a bullish and a bearish thesis. This is the bearish one, where you have, you see, your all-time high, you instantly knifed after your IPO. I mean, you went up, but after that, your IPO. Then lower high, here's your midpoint, here's your T. For this bearish version, I really have to say it's over for this company. Yeah, because this would be a T, your T wouldn't be finished. You have to drop under your all-time low, which is at 13 cents. Yeah. So if this is T, this company is dead. Next thing, yeah, okay, they could do a reverse split, right? But first of all, that would kill your position most likely. Second, they only have a 95 million share float. And that's a shit. That's really bad. Because let's say we drop here. The same problem like FFAI. If you drop under 10 cents on NASDAQ for 10 days, you are delisted. So they would have to do a reverse split, but they only have a 95 share float. Most of the time, if you want to do a reverse split, you want to go out of the danger zone. If you're only doing a 1 to 10 reverse split, you're only sitting at $27. That's not much. But if you do that, you're already sitting then at a float of 9 million shares. If you're doing a 1 to 100 reverse split, you're sitting not at 9 million, you're sitting at 900,000 share float. That's so a fucking tiny float where we maybe really could start talking about there is a possibility to manipulate the stock because the float is so fucking tiny. That's the shitty part. So if we're taking this bearish version, I think this company is done. But there's a bullish version. And for the bullish version, as I said, it's looking like HKT. There is a possibility. In that case, your midpoint is here. your T is here, which is kind of also working because you have a nice big M, you have a nice big T. Your all-time low was in July. And since July 2025, you're doing higher low. In that case, you dipped under the 786. Perfect. So in that case, the macro higher low would be finished. Right now, you are doing the micro higher low. So I would still say there is still a big possibility that you still have to pull back to where, if this is our micro higher low, you still have to come lower than 23 cents. I would even say you have to come down to 23 cents. 23 cents 80, 23 cents 70, doesn't matter. But to finish the micro higher low, and then you have the chance to really go. For price targets after that, your next target is 450 for A. Pullback. And then over 17 for B. And then the only question is, are you breaking all-time highs or not? Also, same like HGT. If you look at our landmarks, you have a vertical V, a vertical higher low, a vertical T, a vertical M, and a vertical IPO. So also for AIRE, Alpha Tech, there's a possibility, because if so, this first fractal would be finished, that you're not doing the pullbacks. Possible. Yeah. For this stock, I would say the same thing what I was saying for HKD. Don't put anything serious in this play. You can play it with $100. Yeah. If you're doing something stupid, yay. If this thing goes bankrupt, no cry. Yeah. Because for levels, I really have to say, if you touch or break 22 cents again, I would say the same like I would say to FFAI, hands off. For targets to the upside, everything over 72 is bullish. Everything over $1.39, it's very bullish. It could also be that we don't see this level anymore. Yeah. So it's not looking that bad, but be careful. Okay, it was a small video today, but there's not much today to say. As always, an explanation video here, playlist here, the big update video with all our stocks back there. If you liked it, leave a like. If you want to see more, leave an abo. And let's see if you're getting big squeezes this week. See ya.